Hey everybody, you know, I'm involved with a lot of archery companies that are out there by doing how-to videos on how to install their products. And some of you guys may have seen the how to install the rest rocket. That was one of the videos that I done. I made the 30-second commercial that aired on TV last year on the TV show Just Passing Through, the show that I was the host of. Well, a lot of guys may not realize this, but you know, I'm actually the inventor of the rest rocket, and I'm actually the person who owns the company. You buy a rest rocket, I'm the guy who delivered it to the post office. They got me doing everything over there. But seriously, you know, when the rest rocket was designed, when the whole concept of the rest rocket was actually in my shop here, I had people coming in, and one of the things we noticed was we could actually move your impact point by increasing or decreasing the amount of time your arrow was traveling across the rest. Now, to increase the arrow travel means the rest has to stay up longer, which pulls against your bus cable, which pulls against the rest. There's a lot of things that can get pulled there, and it can even cause timing problems, premature wear of the cords, and it can actually cause your rest to move in some extreme cases where people have too much arrow travel with no type of buffering system. So I kind of played around with the idea of making a product that could increase the amount of arrow travel to optimize your arrow impact, because what I found is somewhere between the neighborhood of 5 inches to 6 inches, there was no change in arrow impact after you went to that point. So that's why I always tell everybody, you know, take your arrow to where you get about 4 or 5 inches of arrow travel. You're not going to have any more effect out of the rest rocket if you try to increase that. Some people think they can push that and get more of enhancement out of their bow. You're not really going to. You're not going to get any more potential than that. Of all the bows I've tested, you know, this Z7, I've tested it. I've tested older bows that I've got. I've tested some of the bows that come in off the street. You know, I've tested a lot of different bows, and that was the magic number, somewhere between the neighborhood of around 4 to 6 inches, right in that ballpark area. I never did get anything else past that. Now, I took it out past that when I was testing it. I took it to 9 inches. And that's when I started getting fletching contact, because the arrow rest couldn't get out of the way fast enough. But I've never seen even the fastest bow, 9 inches. That was the daggone Monster 7 that we had, and 9 inches of arrow travel, that thing hit. That was where it hit. At 8, we had clearance. So, you know, there you go. That's one of the other things that I get a lot of times from people is like, hey, what's the point of even having a drop-away arrow rest if you keep it up that long? Well, it takes 9 inches of arrow travel before your fletchings hit. I've got high-speed video to prove it, you know. So there you go. You can look on the restrocket.com and all the different high-speed videos, and you can see that arrow rest is out of the way plenty time for the fletchings. That's with 4 or 5 inches of arrow travel. You're not going to have any problems. So right there, that myth is busted. The rest rocket, it costs $10. You know, it's a pretty good little invention that I got there, you know, and it cures a lot of problems. Broadhead flight. I got reports from Alan Corsa over there at KR Archery, the people who make Equinox. He told me that they couldn't get his brother's arrows to fly good with broadheads. They put a rest rocket on there. He said, man, it was like putting snake oil on it. Boom. Broadheads flying like laser beams. You know, it cured that. There's people out there, like me, I shoot a slider sight, the HHA slider. I never move mine off the bottom mark, and I'm able to shoot 20 to 40 yards. I can shoot 0 to 40 and never have to slide my sight. I've heard similar reports. And you know, now if I go out west, I've got other marks on here, and I can adjust it for longer distances because I got the bow sighted in. But you know, generally for right here in Kentucky around my house, 40 yards is, you know, way farther than I'll ever shoot. 25 yards is my average shot. I hunt in the woods. Anyhow, you know, another thing that people actually ask me a lot of the times is, for some reason they think that the rest rocket is for people who only shoot fobs. It's not. It's for fletchings. It's for fobs. It's for turbo knocks. It's for everybody's stuff. I use 2 different kinds of fletchings here. I've got Xeon Fusion vanes, and I've got some blazers on my pink Arrow Project arrow. I shot them with fobs. I had no problems. It enhances every type of fletching. Fletching has nothing to do with it. With the clearance. I use fobs to do my clearance testing because they're rigid, and I knew if they hit, I was going to see it, I was going to hear it, I was going to break something, you know, it was going to do it. That's how I got that done. I tested it in extreme cold by keeping my bow in a freezer. I got the same stretch, I got the same pull, no difference. I tested it in extreme heat by putting it in my truck, shutting the windows, and leaving it sit out in the sun all day long on a summer day, pulling it out, measuring everything, same arrow travel, same performance, everything worked exactly the same. I put it on a draw lock bow, kept it locked at full draw in my basement. I forgot about it, seriously. It hung there for over 3 months before my wife finally had to just tell me she was scared that I was trying to kill her with this thing. She thought it was a booby trap. So I took it down, I tested everything. Everything was exactly the same, the stretch. You know, we had tested lots of different tubing out there. A lot of guys think that this is peep sight tubing. The original was peep sight tubing because I had that. I tested it. It wasn't strong enough or durable enough to pull up every single rest. It eye rotted and cracked. It fell apart. This particular rest rocket, this one right here, this red one, it's been on my last 3 bows, that piece of tubing right there. It's 3 years old, man. It's not even got a crack in it. I'd put my life on it right now. I'll take this bow anywhere in the world right now with that rest rocket. I will not carry a backup one because I know it won't break. That's how much confidence I have in that little piece of tubing to make my arrows fly perfectly. You know, the other thing that's really cool about the rest rocket is if, for instance, if you were to cut that, or it was heavens to say it was to break, if it ever breaks, I'll give you a brand new rest rocket free of charge. But if it was to break, it's still, the way this thing is set up and designed, it's fail-safe. Your arrow will still be able to be shot out of the bow because you're going to go back to the original manufacturer's suggested arrow travel of 1 inch. That's where you start when you install it, for you guys out there who's ever seen the installation video. You know, I just wanted to take a few minutes to tell you some of the stuff that I heard about rest rockets over the past few years. I've got guys out there who are actually going to be doing some videos. They're doing some freelance testing. There's actually a review on the rest rocket and how well it worked. There's a link on the website. You can go and check that out. That's a pretty cool thing to see, you know. So, hey, the rest rocket, it may not be for everybody out there, but it is a great little invention. And for 10 bucks, man, you can hardly afford not to try it. If you do, I'll say right now, thank you very much. I'll appreciate it, and I'll hand deliver that thing to the post office myself. Well, thanks for taking time to watch this week's tip. I guess it's not really a tip. It's more like a little product spotlight. But thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next time, and I'll bring you a really great tip.
What can Rest Rocket do for your bow's accuracy? In a side-by-side comparison, notice how the bow with a conventional drop-away rest falls within the first inch of the arrow travel, while the Rest Rocket keeps the arrow up for a few extra inches, which eliminates arrow drop and reduces arrow paradox for a flatter launch and better long-range accuracy. It's the same concept used to launch fighter jets from aircraft carriers. Longer runways means flatter launch. For more information or for rest compatibility, go to restrocket.com.